And find a comfy seat on your mat. And settle into your body. And I think we have a few new people today, and I got an email right before this that I didn't have a chance to answer, asking how long yoga is. And we usually go for about an hour. I try to aim for a little bit less. So it'll be about that. And know that you can also always turn it off if you need. I don't get a big announcement that you left. So I love it when people come and stay and join all of it. But if you can't stay for all of it, I do believe some yoga is always better than no yoga. So join me and don't feel guilty. Same with the YouTubes. Do the parts of them that work for you. So with that, find a comfy seat, find your sit bones or your ischial spines and root them down underneath you into a block or the floor, whichever you happen to be sitting on. And give yourself a moment to bring mind, body, and spirit into the same spot. Find your breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And take 3 more breaths, long and slow, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And your hands can be wherever feels good, perhaps on your thighs, facing up or down, maybe hand to heart, you choose. Notice what you need today. Yoga is a practice of noticing and connecting and remembering what you need. And as always, I like to have a theme, and my theme today is something that keeps coming up and up and up and up again, which is this sense of not feeling worthy or not feeling enough or not being okay or enough or right or belonging. And my invitation today is that we soften our relationship with those thoughts, maybe even to let them go. For many of us, that's a journey. But what if we could connect to the fact that we are simply human, that there is no judge or book out there of enough or worthy? It's simply a matter of being a human who brings things to this world that no one else can. And that we are each unique in our own humanness. And we have strengths and weaknesses. And again, we bring amazing things to this world that no one else can. We bring our spirit and our way of seeing the world and our way of doing and being and loving and hoping and wishing to this world. And I invite you to bring your hands to heart and press that bottom hand into the heart space, release a bit of oxytocin, and let that circulate, inviting yourself to soften to the idea that you are simply human, who brings things to this world that no one else can, but no one else does, and that no one else is supposed to. That there is no judge out there of what's good enough or okay enough or right or wrong. And that you can trust yourself that by being you, you will make the world a better place in some way. It doesn't have to be a grandiose vision, but could you simply live a life that makes the world a little bit better, simply by having you in it? And letting that be your intention, rather than being worthy enough or enough. that there's no list of who belongs or doesn't belong. We all just bring our unique and human selves, which are beautiful in their own ways. And rub that top hand on the bottom hand, letting some of the cortisol melt. The studies show that that decreases the cortisol in our saliva. And with less cortisol, we will hopefully be more willing to open ourselves up to this idea of being our unique human selves. Recognizing with kindness and compassion that the drive to be enough and be worthy potentially helped many of us get to where we are today. But simply because it got us here, it likely won't get us there to a life of more peace and ease and freedom and calm and contentment. It doesn't help us be present and connected. And it actually doesn't help us bring those most beautiful, unique things we are meant to bring and share with the world, to the world. Taking in a big, deep breath of possibility of thinking about it differently. And exhaling any resistance or worries. And another big breath of whatever it is your body needs this morning. And an exhale of whatever you would like to float out into the universe, out of you this morning. With this next breath, invite softness. And exhale heavy tension. And pause for a moment. Notice how you feel now. Hand on heart. Having found, hopefully, your breath. Having found your heart space. Having found your sit bones connecting to the earth, finding potentially centered and grounded. For this moment, for this hour of the day, letting it feel good, inviting it, welcoming it, knowing that for this hour, it's safe to enjoy being you, to honor being you, to celebrate perhaps being you, embracing your unique humanness, your favorite you, your most comfortable you. Taking in a big breath and a huge out breath. And we'll bring our hands together, rubbing them, warming them up, rubbing them as fast as you can. Press the thumbs into your sternum and send that positive energy into your center, into your core, and set your own intention around how you might like to move forward. An intention that's not focusing on worthiness and enoughness. What would you like to focus on instead? Where is that crack that lets the light in for you? Maybe it's human, maybe it's unique. Maybe it's the impact you'd like to make. Whatever it might be, connecting with that. And when you feel ready, lower hands and open eyes, and we'll come back together and have a wiggle and lightness with whatever tension there is in any body parts. And we'll reach our arms up to the sky, interlace your fingers, flip your palms to the sky and have a shimmy, slight arch back into a seated cow. Grow tall from the root through the palms of the hands to the sky, stretch your armpits. Huge inhale. Exhale, round forward, finding your center and your belly. Press your spine all the way to the back and palms all the way to the front. Reach the crown of the head to the front. Stretching. Inhale, slight arch back. Exhale, round forward. Suck your navel all the way back, finding your center and your core. The part of you that's truly you in that belly. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, tip to the left. Root your sacrum downward. Enjoy the right side body, fingers still interlaced. You'll have only a little space here. Inhale, back to center, root downward. Exhale, tip to the right, taking care of your back. Rooting seat downward, enjoy that left side body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, open your arms out to the sides, press your palms towards the front. Round into a ginormous beach ball, bring your fingertips together, suck your belly back, finding that center of you. Exhale, open wide, arms reach out, shining your heart forward, pinch your scapula together, enjoy, wiggle fingers, round into a huge beach ball. And exhale, open, heart shines forward, letting yourself be seen, shine, sparkle like you're on the front of the Titanic. Pinch your scapula together, round forward once again. Huge, huge gathering here. Suck your navel back. Open arms to neutrals, to the sides, to 90 degrees, and wrap them in front in a huge hug. Lift your elbows up over your chest and squeeze as tight as you can. Releasing oxytocin with the hug, and shake, rock, let it feel good. Enjoying you and wishing yourself well, sending yourself oxytocin. Squeeze tighter. Exhale, release, untangle, open arms wide like the Titanic. Pinch your scapula, wiggle your fingers, lower your hands towards the floor, reach them up towards the sky, lower them towards the floor, enjoying your shoulders move with your arms tucked back a little bit. If this works for you, if something's up in your shoulder, be kind. Come back to shoulder height and give yourself a hug in the opposite direction. Wiggle fingers close to the medial scapula if you can. Lift elbows up over your chest and lower them and squeeze. Squeeze, rock, hug. Let it feel good. And close eyes and enjoy that oxytocin. Breathe in, let it circulate as you squeeze a little tighter, and exhale. Drop chin to chest here, release your neck. Gaze up to the sky as you squeeze tight and come back to center. Untangle your arms. This time, flex your wrists, spread your fingers wide, press your palms into the sidewalls, engaging all that energy, shifting and moving. Squeeze your scapula together. Enjoy all the sensations and relax the scapula. Squeeze your fists together and flick the water or starburst, just bringing in energy, enjoying your hands, your arms, creating a little bit of heat, flicking. Bring your hands in front and flick that water in front as well, or releasing whatever is not you. I often ask a question in coaching, what have you had enough of? And perhaps it's guilt or shame or blame or people pleasing. And you can just send that out with the flicks of your hands as your arms heat up, recognizing it's not easy, but squeezing hard and fast. Raise arms above you and continue the squeezing. Notice your arms maybe calling out. And you'll bring your arms out elegantly in a circle to the floor. Shrug your shoulders up, pinch your scapula, pinch your shoulders into your occiput, and drop your shoulders and let it melt. Pause and enjoy the tingles and the integration. Wiggling fingers, and just notice how you feel. Right hand will plant on the floor. You'll spread all 5 fingers. If you're on your block, you may be on fingertips like a cupcake. Inhale and reach your left arm over, bend your right elbow and enjoy your left side. Huge breath in, switch sides, left fingers plant, right hip plants, and reach the other way. Enjoy your right side body. Inhale, switch sides. Let it feel really good and juicy here. And exhale once again, switch to the other side. Come back to center. Shrug up and down. Drop your chin to your chest, close eyes, and send some love to the scapula for holding up your wise head, thanking it for its service. Continue to breathe. Bring chin back to neutral. Gaze to the left shoulder. Chin is at neutral. Drop your chin to the left shoulder and enjoy the right neck muscles. You might even give them a little massage. Bring your chin back to neutral. Lower the right hand if you've raised it. Gaze gently all the way over to the right. Drop your chin to the right shoulder. And send some love to that left neck. Let it feel good. Perhaps massage gently. Release your left hand. Come back to neutral and back to center. Bring both hands, interlace them behind your head. Tuck your elbows back and press the back of your head into your hands. Shoulders back and lots of energy shift here. Let it feel really good. Pressing, enjoying, draw your elbows back a little bit more. Bring your elbows together and round forward, tugging your head forward a little. Use your belly to protect your back here, sitting up nice and tall. And come back to neutral, unfolding your arms, reaching them out to the sides. We'll bring them in front, right elbow in front of left, coming into eagle arms. Lift your elbows to shoulder height. Press your elbows against each other and enjoy the heat in the scapula here. Perhaps inviting into that tension, what is there that you'd like to let go of? What have you had enough of that's getting in the way for you? Perhaps it is this idea of worthiness and enough. What if that wasn't a construct? What if you were just you, a human with unique talents and skills and strengths and weaknesses? Release the pressure in the elbows. Lift your elbows up a smidge, an inch, lower to shoulder height. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, round forward. Elbows come towards your belly. Drop your head and neck and enjoy the release. Big breath in. Honoring all that you are into every tiny little alveoli in the back, into the nooks and crannies of the farthest lung regions. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, lift up to shoulder height. Untangle. Press your hands into the side walls and cross them the opposite way. Come into eagle arms, sending equal love. Lift your elbows to shoulder height. Press elbows against each other and notice the tension. Invite the breath into the tension. Invite the space. Invite the possibility of letting go of some of this long hold stories about yourself that are unkind. What if you were just fine the way you are? What if you and everyone here belongs? Our society uses all of that to get us to do things and buy things and participate in things and work for free. And what if we opt out? We are good enough. We want to do amazing things and we bring wonderful things to the world without the threat and fear of not being enough. Just being you is just fine. Inhale, lift up the elbows and exhale, lower, round into your belly, drop your head and neck. Lift elbows to shoulder height and untangle. Press your hands into the side walls and spread your fingers wide, pinch your scapula, release and lower. Lots of heat and tingles in the arms, shoulders, and neck. Take the block or whatever you're sitting on out from underneath you and stretch your legs long and have a bang with your knees. Release them. And find your sit bones. Send your roots downward. When we feel centered and grounded and connected, we have a lot more flexibility in thinking and a lot more strength and ability to shift. Find your core, your center, your belly. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward. Bring hands to your thighs, slide forward, hinge at the waist. Your back is flat here, and you'll slide your hands wherever they go. Potentially draw your elbows towards your thighs or your knees. Flex your toes. Let the energy move and shift. Feel alive. Relax your toes. Point your toes long towards the front. Enjoy your shins. Let the energy shift, inviting the energy to shift. Flex ankles, toes come towards you. Spread your toes wide and relax. If you can't spread your toes, I encourage you to practice point toes once again. I had a yoga teacher in med school who spent a whole hour-and-a-half class on that. And you can obtain a lot of energy from your toes, especially after a long day or on a call shift. Flex your ankles, toes come towards you, spread the toes wide, relax. Slide down a smidge more. Once again, back still flat, hinging at the waist. Your knees may be bent or straight. You decide. Sliding up towards your knees, towards your thighs. Bring your hands to the inner thighs and open your legs wide, coming into a wide angle forward fold and rock. Find your sit bones. Once again, plant hands in front and walk them forward, back flat here. Ankles flexed, toes spread wide, and enjoy. Huge breath in. Out, walk the hands forward a little bit more. Invite the energy to run up and down the legs, not getting in the way of the energy here. Letting go of getting in the way of yourself. Slowly slide up. Bring hands behind you, tent them to the floor like cupcakes. Pick up your hips and slide them forward a smidge more. Find the floor underneath you. Heart shines forward, press your fingers into the floor, sitting up tall. Heart shines forward, let it feel really good. Sit tall for a moment and shine. Exhale, blowing out whatever you might like to let go of. Relax. Bring your right foot into the left inner thigh. Drop your right knee and your left toes and lift up into Wild Thing and have a stretch. Rolling your wrists, let this feel really, really good. Press the outer edge of the left foot into the earth, stretching in either direction. Lower down your hips. Slide your left hand down your left leg and reach your right arm over, root the right hip down, and enjoy the energy shift here. Sitting up tall, find your belly, reach tall, huge breath in, exhale, twist to the left and fold over the left foot, sorry. Your right hand's gonna come to the outer edge of the left calf and your left hand wraps into the right hip crease. And enjoy this twist for a moment. Big breath in. Exhale, release, and sink into it a little more if you can, have room. Untangle and slide up that left leg, and we'll switch sides. The right leg reaches out, left foot comes into the right inner thigh. Left knee drops, right foot drops to the left, lift up into Wild Thing. Enjoy it, roll your wrist. And sit back down, reaching your right hand down your right leg, reaching over, enjoy your hip, your waist. Reach both arms up, twist to the right and fold towards the right outer calf. Right hand reaches into the left hip crease, sorry. And enjoy the twist, wring it out a little bit, let it feel really amazing. Untwist, rise up. And we'll straighten both legs, bring them in front. Find your sit bones once again, move the flesh of the seat without judgment, and bend your right knee, hug it in towards you, release the hip. Have a little rock on your sit bones. Left hand comes to the outer edge of the right foot. Stretch your right leg long. Twist to the right and gaze over the right shoulder if you have room, and you'll notice a lot of energy shifts in the outer right leg. Play with the sole of your foot and which direction it twists. Can you twist it to the left a little, twist it to the right, and notice the shifts. Let it feel good. Twist to the right. Come back to center. Bend your knee, hug it in, squeeze it tight, sit up tall, find your sit bones, move your belly out of the way and sit proud. Root the sit bones downward. Huge breath in. Exhale, stretch the right leg long and hug your left leg in. Find your sit bones, rock on them, move the flesh of your seat if you have to, move your belly out of the way. You do you. Right hand comes to the outer edge of the left foot, stretch it long, enjoy the left leg. Left hand comes behind, twist. And with twists, we grow tall. Grow tall, tall, tall to the sky. Exhale, ring it out, gaze to the left. Press that sole of the foot forward. Huge breath in and out. One more breath here. Press the heel, play with the sole of the foot. Don't let it be too serious. And bend the knee, come back to center. Give it a hug, sit tall. And straight the left leg long in front. Sweep your feet around and come to hands and knees. Let it feel good here. Play with your back, have a cat-cow. You can be up on fists or flat hands. Notice what feels good. If you are in your menopausal phase, your wrists might be cranky, and you use your fists. Gaze up, heart shines forward into cow. Enjoy the stretch in your belly. Enjoy the length and be proud in this cow pose. Exhale, round into cat. Enjoying your back, the fact that it moves. Let this cow, as you inhale, feel really good. Letting your spine be bathed with good feelings and stretch and movement. Exhale, round forward. When we drop all this judgment of ourselves, we let go of the cortisol. It melts. And when we allow ourselves to be and be kind to ourselves, we're releasing oxytocin, using your physiology for you, telling at least decent stories about yourself. Why make this life, which is already somewhat hard, harder? Come back to tabletop. Find your knees. Find your hands. Come flat on the floor to hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. And you will walk your hands forward. Come down to puppy pose and walk your elbows forward. Reach your sit bones all the way back and enjoy the stretch and release in your shoulders. Let yourself melt here. Let it feel good. They also call this melting heart pose. As you melt your heart, you can envision melting these old thoughts of inadequacy and unworthiness. Just let them melt into the floor. You could leave them there. What if you, just as you are, bring things to this world no one else can? That phrase comes from Charlie Mackesie's book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And it's getting out of this comparing ourselves to others and judging ourselves and thinking you're not enough, which all makes this life harder. What if there isn't enough or not enough? What if there isn't worthy or not worthy? Mindfulness invites this non-judgment, neutrality. Shift your weight, lift your forehead, and we're going to shift forward into Sphinx pose, pressing the front of your hip bones into the floor. You'll widen your feet a little bit, widen your hands so they are in line with your elbows. Tops of the feet are on the floor, and you'll arch forward. Heart shines forward, gazing forward, letting your heart shine forward. Letting that heart and all of those good feelings in the heart pour down the front of your belly into your pelvis and into your hips. Huge breath in, let it pour down the front of you. Exhale, release. One more big breath here. Pour it in all the way down into your belly and your pelvis. And exhale, let it out. Close eyes and just take a moment to pause and notice how you feel. Notice your fingertips on the floor and the magic of those acupressure points, the front of the hips on the floor, the tops of the feet on the floor. Curl your back toes and you'll press back to child's pose. Release your back here, knees apart, toes together. Stretch long, long, long and enjoy it. Let yourself melt in. Let it feel good. And we'll lift back up to hands and knees. Walk your hands forward, curl your toes, and lift up to downward dog. Let it feel really good here. Walk the dog. Release your back. Have a sway with your hips. Waggle them. Let it be fun. Perhaps lift up under your tippy toes and lower your heels to the floor. Spread your fingers wide. Find a lovely, solid base here in this downward dog. Release your neck. Shake it out. When we're upside down, we have different perspective. Perhaps taking a look between your feet and notice what you see here. Whether you're inside or out, notice perhaps the trees, the sunlight, a window. Things look different upside down. Find your right ball of your foot. Plant all 10 fingers into the earth. Raise your left foot to the sky. Coming into three-legged dog, press your heel into the back wall. Huge breath in. Exhale, bring your left foot between your hands. Cartwheel up into warrior two. Cartwheel your arms out and open. Let it be a long one that feels good. And pause here for a minute. Flip the front palm up. Drop back into elegant, graceful warrior. Feeling elegant. Enjoying the front line of the body. Come back to warrior two. Straight your front knee, your right hip's gonna tip back, and we're gonna drop into Trikonasana. Reach that left hand all the way forward. Drop your hand down. You can use a block if you have one. Bring it to the inside of your foot, and let this be a beautiful triangle. Noticing all the triangles. Roll the top wrist. Enjoy it. Roll your chest open. Let both knees be straight. Let it feel good. Cartwheel back up. Knee is still straight. Hand comes down the right thigh. Come into elegant triangle or reverse triangle. Your front knee will be straight. Enjoy your thigh here, your waist. Come back to arms parallel to the floor. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your feet to the side of your mat. Ground the outer edges of your foot into the earth. Hinge at the waist and fold forward. Hands will come to the floor or they may come to a block, you choose. Back is flat for the moment. Find your feet. Let them connect into the earth here. Big breath in. Bend your left knee and shift your weight and the block all the way over to the left. Your right toes will reach to the sky. You can bring your block with you if that feels good, and enjoy your inner thigh. Point your toe. Let it be long, elegant, and flex your ankle. And we'll walk over to the other side. Switch, bend the right knee, straight the left, and you can bring your block with you. Notice your pelvic floor here too as you point your toe and flex your toe. Let it be tight and relaxed. Just notice it's there, sending it some love, thanking it for holding in all your parts. A lot of people ask, what's pelvic floor yoga? All of yoga, if you pay attention to it. It's just like what you pay attention to is your life. And that's a part of us that we can send good wishes to and thank, and we get a lot of good out of it. Coming back to wide angle forward fold. Come back to a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips. Hinge at the waist and rise up. Turn your heels in and squat down into the yogi squat. Bring arms up into a cactus shape. Wiggle your fingers. Lift up your right toe, heel, sorry, onto your right toe and lower it down. And lift up your left heel and lower it down. Bring your elbows down to your waist, pinch your shoulders, and shoot everything straight into a 5-point star. Bring your hands together above you, steeple your fingers and heel toe your feet together. We're going to come into crescent moon because we are in a crescent moon phase. Reaching your fingers tall, tall, tall. The winter crescent moon is so beautiful. Root the soles of your feet downward. Reach your fingers tall. Exhale, tip towards the left and enjoy the right line of your body. Huge breath in and out. Come back to center. Exhale, tip to the right. Enjoy the left line of your body. Point those steeple fingers. Be a crescent moon. Come back together. You might notice I picked my crescent moon mat too. All in the spirit of the moon. Opening your arms out to the sides. Bring your hands back to your waist. Tuck your elbows back behind you. Heart shines forward. Draw your elbows together. Lift up onto your tippy toes and have a balance here. You may feel a little awkward. And lower down. Bring your elbows back to the sides, hands still at your waist, heel toe your feet out wide into that wide angle pose. And you're going to turn your right toes to what's probably the back of your mat. Pigeon toe your left foot and bring your arms out to shoulder height. Bend your knee, come into warrior two. Find this warrior pose here. Right knee is bent, left knee is straight. Flip your right palm up and tip back into elegant warrior. Let it feel really good. Opening up your lung space, lots of room to breathe, creating space. Room for things to wiggle around, to release. Huge breath in, pour it into every alveoli, every nook and cranny. Exhale, cartwheel back up to warrior two. Take a pause here. Grow your chest tall towards the sky. Exhale, wiggle your toes forward and bend your front knee a little bit more. Gaze over that right middle finger, your drishti or your intention. What if your intention were to simply be you, not be enough or not be worthy to bring things to this world that no one else can or should or is supposed to? Why are you here? What is it about you that you love, that you wouldn't change? Flip that front palm up to the sky and tip back once again into elegant warrior. Come back to shoulder height. Untangle, straight your right knee, tip forward and tip into Trikonasana. Trying to create a beautiful triangle pose here. Triangles everywhere. Enjoying the elegance of a human body that can do that. Noticing all 10 toes on the earth. Wrap your left inner thigh medially, engaging it. Engaging your right glute. Draw your left hand up and back a little bit further. If your neck is okay with it, gaze upward. Bring your gaze back down to your right hand and rise up, tip back into reverse triangle. Enjoy the line of the front body. Shoot your right fingers to the sky. Cartwheel back to arms parallel. Bring your, excuse me, bring your hands to your hips. Turn your toes to the side of your mat. Heel toe your feet together and come to stand. Have a little shake, a little unroll, roll your shoulders, lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. We're going to come into tree pose because trees are elegant despite all their lumps and bumps. They're just trees and they bring amazing things and beautiful things no matter what they look like. Some of the most beautiful trees have no leaves and lots of holes in them. Right foot, kickstand your right foot onto the left calf. Bring hands to hips, for balance and find your steadiness, perhaps that little bit of a sassy girl look. And slide the sole of your right foot to your calf. If you wish, you can slide it up higher to your inner thigh, but not over your knee, because that is not kind. Bring hands to heart and pause. Take a moment here to find your inner steadiness, your inner strength, that core part of you that's you. It's going to be deep somewhere in your belly, in your sacral plexus, your solar plexus, below your belly button. When you've found that, notice the steadiness that comes with it. And reach those beautiful tree-like arms up to the sky and become the most beautiful tree that you wish. Embody one that you love, remembering it's not perfect, and no one judges a tree as to whether it's worthy or enough. It's just beautiful exactly as it is. Huge breath in. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into your sternum for balance here. Draw your knee to the front and lower it down and shake it out. Roll your shoulders, and we'll switch sides. Lift up all 5 toes on the right foot and lower them down. Send your roots down like that tree, drawing the energy through the belly into the foot, sole of the foot. Kickstand the left foot. And this time, hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into your sternum. Press each finger pad against each other. Notice them, both palms into each other. Press the thumbs into your sternum and slowly slide up the sole of the left foot, perhaps to the calf or perhaps higher. And pause here to find that core, your center, the part of you that's you. It's usually below the belly button, somewhere in the sacrum. Pressing into the sternum, into the heart space underneath. Breathe. And when you feel ready, grow beautiful branches, elegant branches that may look like anything. Trees are actually amazing entities. Just like humans, each and every one is different. And they inspire us with different things in different ways, in different capacities. Bring hands back to heart center. Press that thumb into your sternum. Engage your glutes. Draw your left knee back. Noticing the sole of the right foot and the steadiness it brings. Draw your left knee forward. Lower it down. Shake it out. Wiggle your knees. Shake, shake, shake. Let it feel amazing. Lifting up all 10 toes and lower them down. Close eyes, come into mountain pose or Tadasana for a moment. Find your inner mountain, your inner steadiness. Mountains similarly, steady, beautiful. They look different in different lights and different seasons, but we don't judge whether they're enough or worthy. They're just a mountain, just like we are a human. We all bring things to this world that no one else and nothing else can. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Perhaps inviting yourself to let go of that grasp of judgment of yourself. Could you invite a tiny bit of trusting that you will move forward with the most grace and elegance and good-heartedness as you can. Open eyes, and we'll slowly come down to your knees. Grab a block if you have one, and you can slide it under your rear end, coming into hero's pose. Some of you might want 2 blocks if you have funky knees. Your knees will come together and you'll be sitting on the block. You'll reach your heels back farther. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Wiggling your toes. Find your sit bones and sit up tall. Curve your spine forward. Heart shines forward. Sitting tall, shrug your shoulders up to your ears and drop them. Taking a moment here in hero's pose, sending some love to the thighs, wiggling toes, wiggling fingers. And we'll lift up onto the shins and slide the block out. Slide your feet around, coming in front. We're going to come into rock the baby. So you will bend your left knee underneath you, bending it more than 90 degrees, and you'll bend your right knee, put your right foot into the left elbow crease, and you'll wrap your right elbow around your right knee and have a little rock here. Enjoying your right hip. And if this doesn't work, you can come onto the floor and do a figure 4. Let this be fun. Rock and roll and massage, treating yourself well here, inviting that hip to release some of its hold. Noticing whether this feels good. And we'll release the right foot. Place the right foot atop the left knee if you can, and lower your right knee over the left foot. You'll wiggle your left foot forward a little bit. Coming to sit in double pigeon. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward. Heart shines forward. Crown of the head reaches to the sky. And take a moment here. Close eyes and notice. Allow. Huge breaths. Let them pour in like honey. Let things slow. One more big breath here. Open eyes. And you'll untangle your legs, stretch them long in front, coming into a forward fold. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way, reach arms out and up and round forward, release your back, wiggle toes. Let this feel good. Roll ankles perhaps. And we will switch sides. Your right leg will bend and your right foot will come underneath you. And you'll grab your left ankle and place your left foot into the right elbow crease and rock the baby on this side. And I will offer that if this doesn't feel good, this is the ankle I tweaked when I fell down the stairs a few weeks ago. Adapt so that your hip feels good, but you're not hurting yourself. Always stay out of hurting yourself. And rock your hip. Massage, but it's not supposed to cause pain. We're so used to, in the medical world and in the world of high achieving women, suffering. And suffering is the way forward. But what if it's not? What if being kind to yourself and releasing oxytocin is the way forward? It's the way to there. How we got here is not how we'll get there. When you feel complete, lower your left ankle onto the right knee and come into double pigeon on this side. Find your belly, find your sit bones, sit up tall, and let your heart shine forward. Enjoy that hip. And if you need to modify, do that. So I'm going to modify into cow face pose to be kind to my ankle, stacking knees upon each other. This is another position that some of you might try if sitting in double pigeon doesn't work. It does many of the similar things. And you can rock here as well. Let yourself melt into stillness. Let it feel really good. Huge breath in. Exhale. Letting yourself soften in. And when you feel complete, untangle and stretch your legs long once again. Bang your knees out. Find your belly, find your hips, flex your ankles, and we will roll down to lie on the mat. And when you arrive, notice if you would prefer knees bent or knees straight. Do what works best for your back. Neither is better or worse. Take a moment to arrive. and to connect to the earth that's holding you, your human body, your humanness. The earth is here to hold and care for and take care of all of us. Allowing yourself to be taken care of and held. Something that's very difficult for many of us who are givers and doers. Bring the knees into your chest and massage your back. Massage any tender spots. Going as far to either edge as you can, inviting a little bit of play and fun. Whew, let it feel really good. Hug your knees all the way in, draw your forehead, squeeze yourself tight, 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 tight in a ball. Exhale, lower head to the floor. Bring your hands behind your thighs and straight both knees so your heels come to the sky. Hands are behind your hamstrings. Widen your legs a little bit. Flex ankles and point your toes towards you. Press the hamstring into each hand. Point both toes. Enjoy the shins. Flex your ankles. Toes come towards your nose. And point your toes once again. Release your hands to the floor. Use your belly here. And let your legs float to a comfortable spot where your sacrum is on the floor. Find your steadiness, the palms on the floor, and begin to shake your knees and just release your feet, releasing everything, letting go. Your belly is going to work here. You need your core to help you release and let go safely. Noticing that that is what we need to let go of long-held beliefs like we're not enough. Find your center and just shake it out. You can dislodge and loosen some of these things without totally letting it go. Shaking like you're having a temper tantrum. Let it feel really good. Shaking hard. Your legs are kind of waking up a little bit more in a different way. And come to steadiness. Notice. Notice the tingles. Wiggle toes. Wiggle fingers. Bend your right knee and lower your foot to the floor. Bend your left knee and lower your foot to the floor. Palms are on the floor. Walk your heels towards you. Press into your hands and lift your hips up. Come into an easy bridge. Release your back. Lift your hips to the sky and enjoy it. Potentially lift up onto tippy toes if that feels good. And lower down. Lift hips up a little higher. Squeeze tight. Enjoy the back body here. Untuck shoulders and unroll to the floor. Let yourself melt. Untuck your shoulders, plant your palms onto the floor. Pick your hips up, shift them about 6 inches to the right. Draw your knees into your chest and let your knees fall to the left. Coming into a twist, your hips should stack. If they don't land stacked, reorganize. Left hand on the right thigh and extend your right arm outward to a T or a cactus. You do you. Notice what your shoulder and neck like. And it may be different on this side than the other. Huge breath in. Exhale, gaze to the right if you have more room. Let it feel good. Bring your gaze back to center. Release your left hand. Bring your left hand up to a T or a cactus to match. Use your belly here and bring your knees back to center. Plant them on the floor. Reorganize your sacrum flat. Reorganize your shoulders. Pick up your hips and drop them about 6 inches to the left. Draw your knees in. Twist to the right. And your right hand will come to the left thigh, and your left arm might come to a T or a cactus. Do what feels good. Huge breath in here. Exhale, gaze to the left if you have room, with kindness. Bring your gaze back to center, release your hand. Bring your knees back to center, untuck your shoulders. Find your sacrum on the floor. Knees will come together. Sorry, soles of the feet will come together, knees will come apart. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana. One hand on belly, one hand on heart, and let yourself soften in here. Taking a moment here to integrate, to restore, to replenish, and perhaps to let this idea that you bring things to this world that no one else can and should and are supposed to percolate around. How does that feel in your heart space? How does that feel in your belly? Might it be true? Even if you don't know what those things are yet. What if we never know? We know in the end. We just do our best to muddle through this human life as humans. What if you are okay as you are? What if you belong simply because you are human? Notice if anything needs readjusting, being kind, not staying in something uncomfortable just because you're used to being uncomfortable. And you can stay here for Shavasana, or you can stretch your legs long and allow your toes to fall to the outer edge of the mat. And you can keep a hand on heart, a hand on belly, or bring your hands by your sides about 6 inches from your waist, palms open to the sky. Wherever you are, take in a huge breath, the biggest drink of breath you've had all day. And a long, smooth exhale. Taking in another inhale, squeezing every muscle, lifting hands and legs up if you're stretched long, or just engaging everything. Lifting head up off the floor. Exhale, release, and melt into your mat wherever you are. Allowing yourself here to be held by this mat, held by the earth, cared for as all humans who lie on the earth are. Taking a moment here to relax, reset, enjoy, be, and honor yourself, all that you are in your humanness and uniqueness. If you're ready to come out, gently begin to deepen your breath. If you wish to stay, it's the beauty of Zoom and YouTube yoga. Stay as long as you wish or can. For those of you coming out, wiggle fingers and toes. And take in a big drink of breath and enjoy a huge, delicious stretch that feels good to you. Let you and your body decide what that is. Nobody's watching. And take your time to come up to a seat where we began in a way that is uniquely you, that feels good to you. Let your body and what you know guide you. And when you arrive, bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Taking a moment to connect to your heart space and your belly once again. Closing eyes if that's okay for you. Thanking yourself for taking some time for you. Inviting the idea that it is perfectly okay and wonderful and amazing to be you exactly as you are. And to let in this idea that it is very likely that you are here as you are to bring things to this world that no one else can, should, or is supposed to. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all be well. May you all shine. May you all enjoy being you, and may you all bring to this world the things that you are here to bring. The light in me honors and reflects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.